The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television. Major support for Compass is provided by the ongoing support of the Leo P. Flynn Estate of Millbank, South Dakota. Additional support is provided by the Southwest Minnesota Private Industry Council, promoting Southwest Minnesota as a place rich with opportunity. Come for the jobs, stay for the lifestyle. More information at swmnpic.org.
Hello and welcome to Compass, a production of Pioneer Public Television. I'm Les Heen, your host for Compass. This is a weekly discussion of public policy and important issues facing our viewing area. This week, we will discuss how medical care is changing for dementia and Alzheimer's care throughout our region. We'll have representatives from the Central Minnesota Council on Aging and the Alzheimer's Association. We'll touch on what communities can do to better the lives of caregivers and sufferers of the disease. Also how the disease affects rural areas. First, Pioneer's Laura K. Prosser takes us to the Teals grocery store in Paynesville, Minnesota. That's where the local Act on Alzheimer's group has started a grocery shopping program for community members who are dealing with the disease. Here is Laura's report.
Dealing with Alzheimer's isn't something we'd wish on anyone. It's something we all fear and are faced with as we get older. To steal one's mind is just another way to steal away independence. But at Teals grocery store in Paynesville, Minnesota, that independence is given back, even if it's just for a single shopping list. Linda Mussel and Dr. Ray Lindman are here to talk about the Act on Alzheimer's program and the impact it has on its community. Linda, Ray, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Linda, tell me a little bit about the Act on Alzheimer's that you two are involved in.
Act on Alzheimer's is a group of dedicated volunteers in rural Minnesota that started here in 2011. Minnesota was the first state in the United States that brought Act on Alzheimer's to the state. In 2014, we started our group here in Paynesville. The action plan for Paynesville included two things. First of all was education to the community, and secondly, it was to help do whatever we could for caregivers or care partners.
So Dr. Ray, what kind of need does this type of program address for senior citizens?
Well, I think the greatest need that it has met is to make the community aware of what's happening. We did the first survey and we found that in the area, which is considered our area of Paynesville for school and shopping and what have you, contained about, I think it was about 168 Alzheimer's patients. Almost all of those are being taken care of in the home by a spouse or a sister or a brother or someone in the family usually. And that was a 24-hour, 7 days a week job.
One of the things that we found in the assessment phase was that caregivers were having problems getting their groceries, whether it be trying to get their person through the grocery store or whether the person didn't want to go in the grocery store, so they were sitting out in the car either in the hot weather or the very cold weather. Some people were afraid that their person might wander away and they wouldn't be there to help them. So what we decided was we needed to do something, and we weren't sure what it would be. We came up with a plan to go on Senior Discount Day to the grocery store when all the seniors come to get their discount. Okay, our people show up at the grocery store about 9:30 in the morning on Wednesdays, and they set up a little table where they have information, and also they have a kiosk with more information and resources in it. And we wait for people to come in, and people will stop and talk as they come into the grocery store. It may be about nothing, but it may be someone who is saying that, I think my wife has Alzheimer's. What do you think I should do? And these are individuals that have maybe not gone any other place.
Well, and that's a tough question to ask a stranger or even somebody in your community.
Well, there are all sorts of educational things that come along with the program, teaching people not only in the family or in the immediate vicinity of the patient, but those in the community, in the various stores and things like that. We give the courses to them to how to treat Alzheimer's patients when they come into the store, to realize what their limitations are, how to communicate, what not to say, and a few things like that, and to make them aware that these people are there.
Mm-hmm. Why is it so important for rural areas to maybe try and mimic this program or offer services like this?
One of the things that we have learned is that many of our people do not read newspapers, maybe don't watch TV, and they're busy taking care of their loved ones. So they're not in general communication with any place else, but they have to go to the grocery store. So when they go to the grocery store and they see someone there, it is a connection, and they may have no other connection to what's available to them. So the TEALS program is just one of our vehicles that we're using, but it also helps us to get out the word for other things. So if someone comes into the grocery store, we may have in each of their bags an announcement about a program that's coming up.
What do you hope comes from this program? This is a question for either of you.
A lot of our people live alone with dementia. So we need to find those people, and we need to help them in whatever way that we can. Our volunteers are there and able to do that. So our training with them and our time with them is so important. The volunteers get as much out of helping someone as the individual may get from their help. We have several caregivers who their loved ones have passed away, and now they've become volunteers. It's their way to heal. It's their way to give back. And it's important to a small community to know that your neighbor's okay.
This really boils down to help for the caregiver, because we have very little evidence today that there's any kind of treatment for the Alzheimer's patient.
Well, thank you so much, Linda, Ray, for joining us. I'm Laura K. Prosser, producer of Compass, and that's it for us in Paynesville, Minnesota. Back to Les in the studio.